The following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad, and joining me today is Lynne Richards with the Hannibal Parks and Rec. Welcome.
Thank you. It's
yeah,
nice to be here.
It's so awesome to meet you. Okay, so Lynne is what I just heard is like the Leslie Knope of the
That's
Parks
right.
and Rec, right? In Hannibal, that's awesome. I think a lot of people can relate to that. But you basically do it all, right? You do some marketing, run us down kind of the big list of things you do.
Right. Well, I am the Leslie Knope because I am Hannibal's biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
And anybody who knew me from the Harold Wig remembers me that we used to always have big Hannibal Quincy fights.
Oh, never.
So right now I am in charge of doing all the marketing. I'm in charge of the event planning. A lot of events in Hannibal use our facilities. We don't really have a civic center. We have the Hannibal Parks and Recreation Center.
Yep.
Whenever there's something big in town, that's where it is.
Okay.
And of course our parks. We have 30 parks, and we have events almost every weekend at a different park.
Yeah.
And like right now, we're getting ready for the summer, but we're busy all through the year. The Hannibal Parks and Recreation Center is booked 7 days a week.
That's
so
awesome.
we're doing that. And I'm also in charge of, we do a lot of partnerships, like with Toys for Tots, Chamber of Commerce, Parents as Teachers. I'm the one who talks to all those groups, Rotary Club, and we figure out how well we can work together, and that's what we do.
Wow. Yeah, so you're not busy at all then, right?
No.
Yeah, okay. And especially this time of year because the weather is getting nicer, thank goodness. But like you said, you have things going on, throughout the year, so I don't want to discount any of that. But this time of year is especially busy for you because you are getting ramped up for pools and parks and ramp, not pun intended, but it does lend well to the skate park, right?
Right. Ramp it up.
Okay.
Yeah. So we, I know you guys, I think this has been on your website, but the Parks and Rec recently took over Bear Creek Sports Park.
Okay.
Which meant we added 4 baseball and softball fields to our park system, which means all those leagues, all those games, hundreds of leagues go on all summer long, May through September. So we've got to staff it, concession and umpires.
Right.
So we also hire 30 lifeguards. Our aquatic center is really big, and our insurance requires us to have 10 lifeguards on duty at all times.
Okay.
So we hire 30 lifeguards for that, and we have front desk concession for there. We have a skate park, we have the rec center, we also have seasonal maintenance. So like everywhere else,
I was just going to ask.
We're having a little difficulty with minimum wage going up and a lot of jobs. These used to be such coveted jobs. It used to be jobs
that's
that
what
all
I mean.
those teenagers wanted.
Where are all the teenagers who want to go work at these cool parks? I mean, I would love to just go watch people skate at the skate park. I mean, because I haven't seen it, but just reading about it, like you have like what is it? It's called like the below grade concrete bowls that and drop-ins and
it's a great
rails. I mean, I would love to, if it were my job as a teenager, to go and just watch some people pull off some cool tricks and stuff.
It's a great job.
Yeah.
And Huckleberry Park, that has a lot of amenities in it. I'm really proud of our ramp park because of those kids that use it are different kinds of athletes.
Yeah.
They're not the soccer players and the baseball players, but this is their sport.
Right.
And they use it all summer
And they
long.
are dedicated.
They really are.
They are.
They're out there in the middle of the summer.
I know.
So that's a great job. But like the lifeguards, they have to be good swimmers.
Yeah.
So not just anybody can be a lifeguard, but we're a little different, I think, with some area pools in that we train our lifeguards.
Oh, okay.
So we train them. They don't need to have any kind of certification. We train them, but oftentimes kids will say, yeah, I'm a good swimmer because they go to their grandma's pool all the time.
Good swimming and lifeguards good swimming are two different things.
Yes.
Yeah. My niece just went through it and she was like, but it's so rewarding when you get done. So she, she knew she was an excellent swimmer, but getting there, it just kind of took that little extra, it's a little extra effort, I think, and dedication to be a lifeguard.
It's a little tough.
Yeah.
As long as they're a strong swimmer, of course, kids that are on the swim team, we use them a lot, but we have to have them trained correctly, American Red Cross. So But yeah, it's a good summer job.
Yeah.
There are so many jobs for kids out there these
Right.
days that it's not as easy to get them.
I know. It's wild. That's why I'm like, where's everybody? I can't imagine, when I was younger, not wanting to work at a park or, the lifeguard was one of the coveted positions when I was younger because you got to hang out with all your friends
Right,
and be in the
right.
sun all day.
And we
yeah.
do have other pools in Hannibal, but they're one guard at a time. They're smaller. So this is kind of, it's more of a family. Kids
Right.
are together and you rotate around so you're not in the same place.
Right.
But it's a hard job
Yeah.
because they are literally saving lives.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely can't take that for granted. But like you said, you're having a hard time finding people. So if you're interested, get a hold of Mary.
We actually have we have an online application this year. We never did that before, but
Okay.
we're trying to make it easy. And
Yeah.
we'll start interviews in a couple weeks.
Okay.
So we need to start getting them trained and doing the interviews. So our applications are due this Friday.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And so you said 30 parks?
Yes.
30 parks.
And the thing is with our park system, we do have the ones that everybody knows about, but we have some small pocket parks that really haven't even been named. A lot of times we'll have a neighborhood that in 93, when they had the big flood, FEMA went through and purchased that land. That was, an abandoned house was
Okay.
on, and it was given to the Parks Department. It could only be used for parks.
Now this is like Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
like the ditch.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's a great place for the neighborhood because it's a big open field for kids to play. But it still needs to be maintained and mowed and all that. So
Right.
it's considered a park. So, we have not only our parks, like I said, we have tennis courts and soccer fields and baseball fields and the marina and the lighthouse and the rec center. So
Right.
we have a big...
And they all have to be maintained.
Right.
And they all have to be staffed. And
Yeah.
there's just a lot. I mean, I think a lot of people do tend to take parks for granted because they do kind of just sit there. But if they aren't being maintained, they won't sit there for long, right?
And that's the thing. Our rec center is manned every day. And we're unusual in that our rec center is free and open to the public all the time.
Oh.
You always kind of say, where can I walk if the weather is bad? The
Right.
rec center's open. It's 8 laps equals a mile. But pickleball is very, very popular.
yes, it is.
And I know a lot of Quincy people come over and play pickleball there because it's free.
Yeah.
So we have pickleball leagues that is booked every time.
Oh, I bet.
We have a thing starting in a couple weeks called drop-in pickleball. You can just go in, pay $5. You can play as much as you want. They have a system where you get on this team and then
Oh, really?
this
So
team.
I can just go by myself
You
and
go
just
by
say I want
yourself.
to.
Yeah,
Okay.
you just join a team. So
Okay.
then if your team wins, you go this way, and your partner goes this way, and it's a whole system. These pickleball players are serious.
They're intense.
Yes.
They are. I love watching it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun to watch.
It-
We always think of that as like a Parks and Rec episode because at the beginning, we had a little tennis pickleball.
Oh, yeah.
And so we kind of imagined that would be a Parks and Rec episode.
That would be awesome.
At the meetings with their
The
rackets.
rackets
Yeah.
throwing a fit about each other.
So
That's
we
funny.
are actually turning in Huckleberry Park. We had pickleball courts that were on wheels that they would bring onto the tennis courts.
Okay.
So now we are turning one side of the tennis courts into dedicated pickleball courts.
Oh, the
We still
tennis
have
lovers don't like that.
Yeah, but we still have the tennis.
Okay,
We still
all
are
right.
keeping half of them.
Okay.
So, but we're going to turn one side into dedicated
That makes
pickleball
sense.
courts because it's so popular.
Yeah.
And we are trying to meet the needs of what's going on right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, like I said, I know you're busy, of course, and I love that you're the cheerleader because every town needs one, especially for parks and things for kids and adults and really all ages to do. I mean,
right.
yeah, there's, and I know there's always stuff going on in Hannibal, which I love. And
There is,
I was just
yeah.
talking to Bob. I was like, I can't wait until it warms up, but turns out you don't really have to.
No. We found during COVID, I have family in California, and their parks were closed.
Yeah.
And we kept everything open. We didn't have the rec center open for a little bit, and then we closed down our playgrounds for a little bit. But we found that people really appreciated the park
Oh, yeah.
during that.
We did. We traveled over there.
Yeah, we saw more people there than we had seen in years. So
Yeah.
we really felt like that gave people a little bit of appreciation. Have
Yeah.
you been to Sedalis Nature Preserve?
No, I don't think I have. Where is
That's
it?
our newest park. It's like a block from Clemens Field.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was given to us in 2014. It was a $2 million gift from this conservation fund because they discovered the largest hibernaculum of Indiana bats
Oh.
in the world. Was
Wow.
discovered there, yeah. So U.S. Fish and Wildlife took it over and gated up all the openings. These endangered bats were hibernating in these old abandoned limestone caves.
Okay.
So they went there, they gated them all up. There's 33 gates, so people can't get in there, but the bats
can
in
still
and
come
out,
and go.
and turned it
Oh,
into
cool.
like 7 miles of only pedestrian trails.
Very cool.
It's great.
That is very,
It's
very
become
cool.
very popular. We have a lot of runs there. We have a nature educator that takes people on night hikes through there.
Oh, cool.
It's been we have a whole different kind of ecotourism there because
Yeah.
people are interested in helping to save the bats.
That is very cool. Yeah, we used to have bats in our attic, but I still love them. They kind of freak me out, but I
Yeah.
do love. I mean, everything. I mean, anything that has to do with nature, I am a huge fan of. So that's awesome that
Yeah,
somebody
you ought to
came
go
in to
to
preserve.
Sedalis.
Yeah,
It's
I need to
great.
check that out.
It's a real simple 2-mile paved trail, but then you can go on the back trail to the rustic trails.
Okay, so
Really
that's
well
the
signed.
newest one. Do you know what the oldest park is in Hannibal?
Yes, Central Park.
Okay.
Right next to our office at City Hall is the oldest park.
Okay.
And I recently put up a storyboard that tells the story
Cool.
of Central Park and the oldest
so
fountain
cool.
there. And we're going to be doing some work there in the next few years.
Love it.
The second oldest park is Riverview Park, and that's what we were talking about. With
Just
the
talking about the,
historic
yeah.
statue there.
Uh-huh.
And we're actually doing a lot of work at Riverview Park. We recently had a group form a Friends of Riverview Park group,
Uh-huh.
and they're kind of helping us get rid of the invasive species.
Okay.
Build more trails there, so
Okay.
a lot of work's going to be going on there
Yeah.
in the next few years.
Love it. Well, we love Hannibal, and I know I speak for a lot of people when we say when I say I like to go there to experience not only the parks, the shops, and the restaurants, and I love that you guys are enthusiastic about keeping up with this stuff.
We
and
love Quincy people visiting and spending their money there.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yes, I believe that. And we do. We definitely do leave our money there. Okay, one more thing, because I just think it's important to mention so I keep talking about the skate park because I love the idea. I mean, I just think it's so cool to provide a place for these kids. Like you said, they're interested in different kinds of sports, but that doesn't mean that they're not,
Right.
they don't deserve as many facilities. So the skate park that you have, what is it called?
The Ramp Park.
The Ramp Park,
and
okay.
Huckleberry Park.
Ramp Park at Huckleberry Park, and it is now going to be open
Just on weekends.
Just on the weekends,
And
but
we
that's
did
through
change
March,
the
right?
times. Yes,
Okay.
through March. It'll just be open on weekends. We did change the times a little bit. We're open 1 to 6.
Okay.
So on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. And then in April, we'll be open after school and then on the weekends.
Perfect.
And then as soon as school closes, we're open every day.
All the time.
And we do have one event. It's always the last Saturday in July. It's called Shred Fest.
Okay.
And it's a competition, and we
Cool.
have kids from all over come to Huckleberry Park and do that. But
Wow.
yeah, the Ramp Park, you do have to have your parent has to sign a waiver.
Yeah, sure.
You must wear a helmet, and we do have helmets you can rent.
Okay.
And there is an attendant on duty. And what's great about a Ramp Park is it is literally across the street from a fire station.
Yeah.
So the very few times we've had anything serious, we have
Yeah.
firefighters.
Very
right there.
convenient location.
Yes, it's great.
Not that you want to need that, but
No,
yes,
no.
should you need it, yeah.
It's great.
And it's only $3 a day to get in, which I
Yes,
think is
yeah,
so
yeah.
cool.
And
yeah.
it's great. $40, I think, for an annual pass, which
Yeah.
is what most of them do.
Very
And
cool.
It's a good group.
Very cool. Well, I'll look forward to seeing many improvements that you're going to make, and I love that you have such enthusiasm again. I think it's just so cool.
I'll come back anytime.
Heck yeah. Love talking to you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mary Lynn. Appreciate it. All right. Coming up next, Britt joins me for Coffee Talk.
Quincy Warehouse Bargains is your Quincy home improvement store. It's the only store of its kind in the Quincy area. We offer flooring, mattresses, area rugs, dining sets, couches, appliances, and much more. And have more products to come so we can better serve the Quincy and tri-state community. Our staff is ready to help you find what you need to make your house a home. Quincy Warehouse Bargains, 4100 North 24th Street, Quincy.
I've had 2 stepdaughters go through the Quincy public school system, and it's a great system. And I love what they accomplished and what they're accomplishing now. But I have found flaws, and I believe that those could be fixed at the local level. And I don't believe that the people that are heading this state really understand what's best for our children in this city.
I believe that serving on the Quincy Public School Board is one of the most important jobs a person can have.
Over the last few years, I've seen some things that I've felt like we needed some new perspectives on. I also feel like over the last few years we've had some situations with COVID, for example, where it became apparent that we really need people who are going to stand up for the Constitution and for freedom to be in positions, these locally elected positions. I'm Tori Kaufman, and I would appreciate your vote for Quincy School Board.
I'm Ashley Randolph, and I would appreciate your vote for the Quincy School Board.
I'm Jeremy Allen, and I'd appreciate your vote for Quincy School Board.
Paid for by Allen, Randolph, and
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday.
Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. There's a reason Harvey's Furniture has been around for over 75 years.
Exceptional quality furniture, affordable prices, superior customer service.
The only way to stay in business for over 75 years is to do things right. Harvey's Furniture, our home. Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center.
Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy. And welcome back. What's up, Britt?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic, and I'm super ready for our favorite segment, Coffee Talk.
Coffee Talk.
And we all know where Coffee Talk comes from, I hope, right? Saturday Night Live?
Yes, we've reviewed this once with our audience,
Yes.
but not everyone knows that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And if you're new here, welcome, and welcome to Coffee Talk.
I'm not Michael Myers.
No.
No.
And
I
don't know who the
probably
other...
won't see Barbara Streisand. Michael Myers was the main person. Yep.
And
he always
I...
said yes.
Yeah. I can never remember anything. I just know it's from Saturday Night Live, which used to be one of my favorite shows. I haven't watched it recently because I feel like it just kind of went off the rails.
It went completely political.
Very.
So that's what we were kind of wanting to talk about today.
Yeah.
Did you see Saturday Night Live last week?
I wouldn't have unless you would have brought it up, and I'm glad you did because Woody Harrelson is he was the guest, right?
Yes.
That's what they call him. Like they come on and they do a monologue, and I've always loved
5-time too.
that. Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So he of course kept looking for his jacket, which I totally forgot that the 5th time you're a host, you get some kind of SNL jacket. But yeah, I used to love that show, and I used to love Woody Harrelson, and I still do. I mean, he's great in anything he does, like we were talking about. He's an amazing actor. Any part that he plays is always like it's just amazing.
Yeah.
But he, for a long time, was very, very political himself.
Yes.
So it did surprise me, but did not surprise me to hear him kind of go on a small rant. Yeah.
That was probably not in those cue cards.
No, most definitely not. So if you haven't seen it, I think Bob's going to link it.
Link it, Bob.
Yeah, you'll have to check it out because it is, he just thumbs up, so he is going to link it. I originally thought Woody Harrelson was on the blue side,
Yeah.
right? Which I don't really care one way or the other. I'm pretty down the middle most of the time. But the tangent that he went on was basically about COVID.
But first he described himself as purple, which I think you and I are very purple.
We are purple. I mean, some things I'm very red or
Same.
blue. It just depends on,
So that was pretty cool. That he's like, I'm purple.
It was cool.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Call me
we're purple. Yeah. But the tangent was definitely not scripted. And I can imagine, is it Lorne Michaels? Because he has politicized everything. And I believe he stands more on the blue end of the spectrum,
joking.
right? He was probably like, holy crap.
Yeah,
But-
Bob just informed us that I guess on the West Coast, Saturday Night Live does retakes sometimes if they mess up.
Yeah.
And
This one
so-
definitely got redone if that's the case.
Woody probably said, no, I'm not redoing this.
Yeah.
You know, he stood by what he said, which was, well, you'll see it in the link. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, I think that it is, to anyone who takes a step back, basically, just in a nutshell, he's like, how crazy would this plot be?
Yeah.
You know, the drug cartel basically tells us they buy out everything, and then in order to do anything, we have to take these drugs.
Well,
and if you think about it,
it is crazy.
it is crazy.
And
I mean,
just
it's
in
just
the
a
last-
crazy,
I think
crazy, crazy thing.
Part of the reason why he did this was just in the last week, too. I think Fauci came out and said that the vaccinations are not working because the virus mutated.
Oh, okay.
I mean, who would have thought that a virus would mutate?
Well, don't they mutate? That's just what they do. And that's what they said when there was, how many strains, whatever. But you don't have to be a scientist to figure that out,
came
right?
out within the last 2 weeks. He made this statement. So I kind of think that's why Woody might have tied this in.
So are they
because
still
this was
encouraging the vaccinations even though...
you do see commercials.
Okay.
I think. And like, I mean, I don't know.
We're both conspiracy theorists,
Yeah,
so we
so
know
I
we know where we
blind-eyed
are.
at
Yeah.
commercials and things like that.
I'm like this. Okay. I mean,
again,
if you want to get vaccinated,
Yeah,
by
do
all
what you
means,
want.
please do.
But I think, I'm pretty sure a lot of articles have come out and said that this is not
Kind of just
helping.
dispelled it, right?
Yes.
Like just
And
it's-
I've heard now too in new articles. These are also scientific journals. I mean, my husband is not presenting me with anything other than
100%. Yeah, Mike is
mean-
like fact.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I guess the vaccination can shed to people too, like the mRNA vaccination can now shed.
Yeah.
If you breastfeed or blood transfusions and things like that. So
I heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, and maybe it's not appropriate to say on Coffee Talk, but I'm going to say it anyway, and Bob can cut it out if he needs to. But I heard that non-vaccinated sperm is going for a pretty penny. That
yeah, I've heard that too.
From some like firsthand sources.
I mean, that makes sense. What we just said.
Yeah.
The mRNA can transfer through your blood and your breast milk. It's going to transfer through your sperm too.
Right.
So
so people are making a pretty penny. That I'm not saying do it. I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying that is what it is. I understand why people feel one way or the other about the vaccinations. My thing is, you do you, folks. I am totally in support 100% in whatever way. But I also really, really appreciate people who speak up for what they believe in.
Yeah.
So Woody Harrelson, I stand behind you, man.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I like he got out of the actor's bubble.
Yes.
And like the bubble that we all live in is to make us feel safe.
Right.
That's probably, where that vaccination, obviously that's where the vaccination came from. It was to make
people feel safe.
Yes. Because this, yes, it was directed to stop a virus.
Yeah.
But for that to happen so fast.
Under the guise of, we can help you stay safe. Here's this thing to stay safe, right?
That's everyone's going to grasp things that want them to make them feel safe.
Yeah.
That's why we grasp a lot of things
Right.
is comfort.
Yeah, comfort.
And
sometimes
safety.
it's a false sense of security. I'm not saying that's the vaccine. I'm just saying that sometimes, you are made to feel comfortable under, false
Circumstances.
pretenses.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I think it is. Everybody lives in their own bubble. And I do think like Woody, it is weird to see, first of all, I am not normally for celebrities talking about normal people issues because I just don't think they experience it like normal people.
Yeah.
So Yeah, it's kind of like, don't use your platform to speak as if you're one of us who are struggling day to day to do things or to keep connections, or, you know, it just doesn't suit you or us very well. But I do appreciate people that stand up for what they believe in. So, yeah.
I think he tried. But like what you just said, there's sometimes you have bubbles that you are in, and people don't understand how you got in them in the first place, I think.
Or why you stay in them.
Yes.
Yeah.
For example, I guess I learned, the other day talking from a friend that I live in a bubble, meaning our community.
Okay.
And it's like, well, duh, I mean,
we all live in like various bubbles. Like I live in a bubble of my own, very selfish bubble sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I live in a bubble with my family, which is also selfish, I think, at times. And then I live in a bubble with friends, family, and myself. And then it just kind of grows in my community.
These bubbles are making us feel safe and comfortable. And I don't know, these bubbles make me happy.
Yeah.
Like I like, the bubbles make people happy.
Well, yeah, and we get to choose what bubble to be in. So a lot of times, you see, especially with social media, people that have moved away from Quincy, let's say,
yes.
Okay, and they are so happy where they are, and a lot of times they kind of like dog on people who are still in Quincy or surrounding areas or smaller towns. They have, spread their wings and they've left and they decided to go chase a career or different weather or whatever the case may be. But you see it on social media. A lot of times it's like, you can tell they're trying a little too hard to convince you of how happy they are being away from Quincy. But that's just, I digress.
I think we see it.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're not, that opportunity doesn't happen for everyone too. Not to digress even more, but like moving isn't always easy. It costs money. Just last night, I saw on Muddy River News, they made the story about the housing comment and the people that stood up. I think one of our Alderman Mast, asked Lisa Wagoda's tenant person that she was representing, well, why don't you just move? Like, why are you still living there?
Ew.
And I kind of thought to myself, I'm like, well, moving costs money.
See, that's like a celebrity saying, well, why don't you just
that's what
stay
I was getting
home?
at with that. And then same thing with like, I don't know, a friend of mine that I love her dearly. And she gets to travel the world. But it's also in a different circumstance. Like you're traveling the world because your husband's in the military.
Right.
I can't travel the world and see things because this costs money. I just went to Coralville, Iowa for a weekend and that like wiped me.
Yeah.
It was a shopping trip. Things cost money. And I don't think, you see that quote, you're not a tree, just move, you don't have, but I do have roots. My roots are strong and they matter to me.
Oh, I say that too.
When they say, I don't know, my roots are strong. I like my bubbles.
Yeah.
And when you're talking to me about my community and you're dogging on my community, it's like, I still live here. Like,
That's
I can
my
dog
family.
I can dog on my family.
Yeah.
But if you've moved away,
you've lost that opportunity.
Yeah. I don't know. You gotta.
I don't like anybody talking smack about Quincy or our community or my family. I mean, like you said, I can say it because I live here. I live it.
If
I'm
I
a part of it.
Experience it, and if I'm doing things to change it too, or to help it,
right.
I think ultimately too, the biggest part about the happiness that comes from my bubbles, from my roots, from my everything, is because I'm so involved. You're
not just sitting back and bitching or taking it in. You are involved. You are making a difference for yourself, for your family, for your community. Even just, I think
that's what gives you purpose.
Yeah.
And that's what gives you happy. I don't know. Like, I think moving away is great. And it's
if that's your thing.
If that is your thing. But also to say to someone or to look at someone that has moved away and then they're coming back because of certain reasons, like if it's for family
financial,
or jobs
whatever.
or whatever, they're not failures.
No.
Like maybe they decided that this time in their life.
See, I feel like Quincy's kind of like I call it a black hole, which is kind of negative, but I don't really know how to say. I guess it's like a gravitational pull instead. But people move away, and a lot of them find themselves back here, which go spread your wings, do your thing, especially if you're younger and you don't have a lot of ties and you don't have roots and you don't have, do your thing.
Experience.
But Quincy will always welcome you back.
Yeah.
And if not Quincy, Britt and I, for sure.
Yeah.
Because,
We like our roots and bubbles.
Yeah. And like you said, it's great. Different circumstances take people different places, but it's not for everyone. I hate winter, but my family means more to me than sunshine and beaches.
Yes.
And if I lived somewhere with sunshine and beaches, would I travel here for vacation all the time?
Do
I want to do that?
I know. That's the whole other discussion that we just had too. My friend and I of just, once you move away, it's kind of strange how, when you move somewhere, if you live in that area, like I have family that lives in St. Louis, and if I don't visit them in St. Louis I'm in St. Louis, but I'm like, St. Louis is really big, that's 30 minutes across.
Well, and I think when you move away, and maybe you can correct me, I've never moved away because I do have very strong roots. I am towny, but I think when you move away and you kind of course, it's going to change you, and you kind of meet new people, and you expand your horizons, and then you come back, and people are like, "Oh, you never call me, Well, because I've changed. I don't know that we still have as much in common as we once did, because that was then and this is now. And so I understand. I still have a few people that come back in town, and when we get together, it's like we haven't missed a beat.
Same.
But there are some people that, like you said, you see them on social media and they're dogging Quincy and they're loving their new life wherever they are. And it's just, their life is just so fantastic, especially on social media. And then when they come back, it's like there's nothing positive to talk to
I'm
him.
here, come visit me.
Yeah, I'm like,
let me show you my crappy town that you think so highly of.
Yeah,
but I do have things that I could show them. It's like that's the best part about it is I don't know.
People miss things about Quincy when they move away. That's what I'm saying.
If you want to see good things, just open your eyes.
Yeah, there's plenty of not good stuff, but that's anywhere. But let's be honest here. No one moves away from Quincy and doesn't miss the food.
I know.
There's no way.
I think also my big thing is I do enjoy knowing people and saying hello.
Yes. I love walking into bars, restaurants, stores.
Restaurants with Mayla, and it was just her and me, and we can have a great conversation with each other. But you're looking around and you're making eye contact, and
it's kind of nice sometimes.
Yes.
It's a very, I don't want to say uncomfortable. It's a different feeling, but it is. And I just had this conversation with my niece because we were talking about high school and how weird it is. And I wish I could take my 41-year-old wisdom and impart it to high schoolers, because it's like you go from, I got to keep up with the Joneses. I have to, she has the coolest shoes. I need the coolest shoes. And they worry about, different things. I'm not saying they're not valid worries, but then when you get older, it's like, oh my gosh, life is too short. I don't even care what that person thinks about me.
If
you go to a different
that though in them, it's going to make these kids to be such. Who wants to hang out with a person that knows everything already?
No. I don't know everything.
No, but you do know a lot. And if you impart that into an 18-year-old, it's like, who is she?
Well, I think maybe they would be a little more choosy about who they decide to, if they want to emulate someone. Maybe they would be able to kind of, I don't know, decide for a little bit.
That wisdom only comes with years.
It does. I know.
Years and experience.
Yeah, but I was getting at okay, so everybody here, which in my mind I love. Mm-hmm. I think it's amazing. And that's one thing that Bob and I talked about not too long ago is I love driving down the street and honking at 10 or 11 people on my way here, But it's probably something that some people just don't appreciate. And that's fine. I love that for other people, spread your wings, fly. Yeah. Like I said, we'll always be here. But for people like you and I, it is important that we stay and we advocate for our community,
in our counties,
and our people.
Yes.
And, that's part of the reason I think we do this job, because we like to inform, even if it is, a lot of the times lighthearted. But I think informing people on, what's going on in the community, even just having conversations about things that we may not think are right, or, I think but if you ever come at us with Quincy's
sucks,
not anything less than perfect, then no, I'm kidding. Yeah, you don't live here. We just.
Then I'm gonna have a few choice words to say to you.
Yeah, we don't care what you think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Quincy, and we are townies, and that's just the way we roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Cheers.
We definitely went off on a couple tangents, but that's another thing I love about Coffee Talk.
Yeah.
All right. Well, until next time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Muddy River News. Our home, our news.